Ladies and gentlemen of the CryptoLogic Podcast, this is Dante Defi, not your usual, co-host. Our co-host Mike, Crypto Mike, he's out. He's got a bug, as John was saying. So, we wish him a speedy recovery. He should be back tomorrow. Right, John?
Yep, he should be back tomorrow.
Yeah, so either way,
Should be good to go.
we are going to be just, having the show. I'm honored to be here and able to open up the prestigious CryptoLogic Podcast. It's an honor. So, John, how are you doing? How's everything going?
I'm doing good. Just it's pretty cool to set all this up on today, this morning. Working, obviously, doing the show from home, which is pretty cool. But hope Mike will get better tomorrow. We'll see him tomorrow. But been a crazy weekend for crypto.
Yeah, it has. I mean, it's been crazy, but at the same time, it's just sort of like we might have hit somewhat of a bottom, right? Like we're sitting at, if we look at the market right now, we're sitting at like 2.27 trillion in total market cap. That was hilarious, right? Like the coin market cap glitch where everybody thought they were absolutely rich.
Yeah, everyone was trillionaires. Everybody was trillionaires.
I don't know what happened, but I personally only use CoinGecko. I only use CoinGecko because it apparently is more accurate, and every time I go on to CoinMetro, someone has something to say about whatever the supply. There's things that they don't get right.
Did the glitch happen on all platforms? I heard it happened on all platforms, or was it just on CoinMarketCap? I think
it didn't happen on CoinGecko, or at least I didn't see it happen on CoinGecko.
I think it was
CoinMarketCap. If it happened on CoinGecko, I didn't notice, or we were in the group chat talking about it, and I didn't see anything, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're like, what are you guys talking about?
Exactly,
like, we're all trillionaires.
Exactly.
Nah, but I see Bitcoin. It's only at 46K. It touched under 45,000 last night, but and Ethereum steadily under 4,000. Binance still over 500. Solana's been doing okay, over 150. The big thing
7
here
days
is
up 9%. Yeah, not bad. Cardano just pooping itself. We don't know what's going on.
Making its way out of the top 10.
It might actually just be vaporware at this point. I'm only joking. Don't get upset.
XRP had a little pump last night.
Wow, had a little pump for XRP.
It hit 91 cents. It hit 91 cents last night. And then
under $1.
Yeah, still under $1. Great
wild.
buy-in for me, in my opinion. Great buy-in opportunity. And the thing that's very critical here, there's two things I want to point out, is that Luna is making its way up.
Mm-hmm.
It's making a stance. It's like making
quietly.
Yeah, it's putting like a stamp on its project, right?
I think we should go to Anchor Protocol. I think we should talk a little bit more about Luna. Obviously, on my channel, I've mentioned Luna many times. It's one of my largest holdings. I'm a big fan of it because it is basically creating an ecosystem that is supporting itself so that the growth of the ecosystem continues to be sustainable over time. And that's why I like it so much. And if you go to, are we going to the website for Anchor?
Yeah, I'm loading it up right now.
Oh, yeah, word. All right. So basically, for those of you who don't know about Anchor Protocol, this is something that is built on top of Terra Luna's blockchain. And it's a savings protocol that offers 20% APR, annual percent rate, on stablecoins. So they have their UST stablecoin, which is, in contention for the first ever and most successful decentralized stable currency. Because you obviously know we have USDT, we have USDC, but those are technically not decentralized. This is completely decentralized. It's run by a autonomous protocol. So the Terra Luna token is directly involved in the backing for UST. But basically, the point here is Anchor Protocol, 20% on your US dollars. Imagine getting 20% a year. I am sitting here today and over the last few days, always thinking about crypto, always reflecting on how I can refine my portfolio, right? And I think, John, you're the same way. We're in crypto, because things are changing so much. Every single day, you're reevaluating what you're doing. And so, Anchor, to me, is going to be where I store, my US dollars, even the US dollars in my bank account. What is the incentive really, if I'm trying to collect a nice pile of cash, what is the incentive not to put it into Anchor or something that's getting 20%? Especially, they announced that there was around 7% inflation this year. So just to beat inflation, you need to be getting more than 7% yield on your US dollars. Otherwise, you're losing purchasing power. So Anchor at this moment in time, unless you know of somewhere else that you can get around the same, is one of the best places to store your fiat, but it's not actually fiat. It's your UST stable coins. So it's pretty cool.
I've been looking into Anchor, and I'm think I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna put some stuff in there and see how it is, because I've been on Nexo lately. So Nexo's been, I've pretty much used all the features on Nexo. I took out my first crypto-backed loan yesterday to see how the process worked, and it was smooth. And I'm gonna keep working on it and update it a little bit more. But I like what these protocols are coming out, basically holding your money and earning money on holding it. So Anchor Protocol, Nexo, Celsius, things like that. Those are all like very, very prominent for the DeFi space.
Yeah.
There's no need for a bank anymore. Like we
no, I mean that's the point. Is like even if we always talk about Wonderland time now. But another thing I wanted to look at is if you go back to CoinMarketCap and you look at what's up the most in the last 7 days, I think there's some talking points there for sure.
Look at the three that jumped the meme coins, and look at Polygon is next to jump the meme coins. That's like the second thing I was gonna say, because Terra's in the top 10, Avalanche is in the top 10. I think one of those is gonna take out Cardano, and depending on the lawsuit with XRP could fall back to 10. But if the lawsuit settles or they win, they'll stay in the top 10. But I think Cardano is gonna get bumped down, and then Luna or Avalanche, one of those two are gonna move up. And then
it's pretty interesting.
Polkadot will get. I think Polkadot can get in the top 10, and I think Polygon, which is another very, I think, solution for Ethereum and everything like that. They're a layer. They're not an ecosystem token as well, are they? Or are they?
Polygon?
Yeah.
So Polygon is for so it's basically Ethereum version 2 in the sense that it's an extension of Ethereum, but it's far more scalable and cheaper to use. And I'm bullish on Polygon.
A lot of people are. Yeah.
I think it's obvious that, I don't want to say obvious, but I think Ethereum, NFTs, we'll talk about it in a little bit. Instagram and NFTs, that's an exciting conversation right there. NFTs are huge, and they're only going to continue to grow. This is like kind of the birth of a lot of hype and kind of the start of mass adoption for NFTs and crypto in general. Like the last year, if we looked at a year in review, adoption has increased greatly, regardless of what has happened to the prices of these cryptos. And what's crazy to think is also, this has been a sideways year for Bitcoin.
Yes.
This has been a consolidation year for Bitcoin. And, based on the gains we've seen, that's pretty insane. This is not even.
Do you think the whole year it's been like that? Because Bitcoin had a nice pump earlier in the year, around May.
So if you're a long-term holder of crypto, and you've been holding before 2020, and you didn't take many profits throughout the year, again, so that's like kind of a mistake that in my opinion, I made that mistake. That I've definitely learned my lesson. Because I made this mistake twice on both of the run-ups up to 60K. It was basically. 60K. Basically not taking my profits to buy back lower. Because at this point, I know it sounds crazy, but to me, we could have a slow grind up where we keep going up and down and people keep getting shaken out. Or, I did think there was the potential that we had, that blow off top. And because of that narrative and because I bought into it, I didn't want to sell. I was like, it's worth risking all of the profit I'm in just in case this keeps going up. And how many times do we make that mistake, right? Like, and we say like, take your profits, pay yourself, all that stuff. And I'm guilty of it too, because again, we're all human. And I say it on my videos a lot because it's as much of a reminder to myself as it is everybody out there. Like, it has been a sideways year if you didn't take your profits. Again, also implications of taking profits. Obviously, if you didn't hold for a year, that's short-term capital gains tax that you are now incurring by selling. But again, I'm sure there's plenty of you guys out there we're not going to pay your taxes anyway. So,
I'm just. It's going to be a very interesting next 3 to 4 months. I think maybe 6 months, because this top 10 I think is going to look a lot different, because we're already seeing. Look at this. It's all utility now. There's no meme coin in there, and Polygon is literally $1 billion away from passing SHIB, and then 6-7 billion from passing Doge. And I think that you'll see the top 12 coins will be all utility, and then you got CRO, you got QUANT gonna probably crack the top 15, top 20. You got HBAR, you have VXV. You still have so many big projects that can crack the top 20, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we are at
FTX. I think FTX can do it too this year in 2022.
Yeah, I think to a lot of the older crypto people, meaning the people who have been here since 2017. It's not the most popular opinion to say that we are going into a phase of mass adoption and the cycle theory has been broken. But essentially it already has, because we haven't had that blow off top. And so basically from where I stand, to me, mass adoption is already occurring, in the sense that now the best minds are now developing in crypto, or planning to develop in crypto. Like we said, Instagram is, Is it going to be a surprise when they announce that the NFTs are going to be integrated? Will you be surprised? Because personally, who didn't see this coming? Who did not see this coming?
That's insane to me. Instagram, the fact that there's 3 billion people, 2 billion people that use Facebook/Instagram, and now it's going to be more on top of Coinbase announcing NFTs. Because before it was OpenSea. Because I remember when I first heard of NFT back in February. And I kind of was like, okay, I need to learn this. I need to learn this before everyone else starts hyping it up or whatever. So I need to learn what it is.
Right.
So I figured out what it was. I didn't buy one yet. I didn't buy my first NFT until maybe April. But I had learned what it is and learned the technology behind it. And I realized, I'm like, all right, this is something that just, the technology behind it is what's going to stay the longest. Obviously, NFTs are going to stay around, because it's just like Fortnite. People buying stuff, skins and stuff, right? It's proof of ownership. Showing off to your buddies, I have this, you don't have this, haha. But the technology, which is verification, just like on the blockchain, verifying ownership. You can verify that you own your house, which is like a deed, right? You buy a house, you get a deed, a piece of paper. Now it can be verified on the blockchain. Oh, Dante owns this house in whatever city he's in, Miami or whatever, right? And then your driver's license verified on the blockchain. There's no more. You can't fake a driver's license anymore, right?
Yeah.
Your health insurance, your car insurance, your medical records, everything is gonna be verified. You can't do fakes. You can't produce fake stuff out of thin air anymore, right? Even bank statements can be verified on the blockchain. You know what I mean?
I mean, the thing is, I think this year at least,
that's the technology.
So I think so this podcast, if you're here right now, I think we can say it's kind of like a year in review. Let's do a year in review. I think that's kind of cool, because even my ability to explain how I explain blockchain now has changed due to my understanding increasing over the last year, being so focused on crypto. And it kind of is like this. To me, it's like, now the way I want to define it when I'm trying to describe it to someone new is, crypto and blockchain is another layer of infrastructure to the internet. The internet is not. Exactly. It's like when we went from mail to email.
Yeah.
It was a revolution in the sense that communicating became far easier, and it became instant and across the world. And so that was huge, right? It opened the door for so much innovation to occur. But the point is, the easiest way for me to describe what's going on right now is the value layer of the internet, where that was not present prior. So if we want to look at crypto and blockchain as Web 3.0, and we want to look at what we have now as Web 2.0, whether it be FIFA Ultimate Team, for those of you who know what that is, where they're trading cards and they have a currency attached that you use to buy those cards, there was no way to give value to those coins. It was just sort of like a virtual coin that, there's no value to it because it's not backed by anything, and there's no way of proving that this has a certain amount of supply and that this person owns this much, that person owns that much, blah,
it's just
blah,
your
blah,
faith,
so on and so
your
forth.
faith and love of the item.
Exactly. And there was no way to put value to a JPEG, right? With NFTs specifically. NFTs is just one way of looking at how we can use blockchains. But the point is, one part of our lives, which is art and showing off our art, look how big it has gotten and how much it's exploded. That's just one part of our lives that can be transformed by this technology. So that's how I look at it. I look at it as like, we've literally just opened the door to what is coming. And the whole metaverse thing, it's now getting far more mainstream. The metaverse has been a talking point for a lot longer than everybody realizes. Like when Facebook bought Oculus, that was several years ago, because they were way ahead of the trend. Why? Because they're not looking at Facebook or Instagram or any of these things as a social media platform where you can like something and this person can comment. They're looking at this as, how do we improve the way people communicate and share? Like, communication is everything, right, to our species. That's how we kind of progress and learn from each other, and et cetera, et cetera. How do we that's what we're really looking at. Is this is another level of human interaction that we're creating, where now there's a whole economy online that's completely separate to the economy that's occurring in traditional markets or in the real physical world. And that's pretty insane. And just the speed in which a lot of this is occurring, I think, is what is surprising to me the most. I don't know about you. Like, I think like we're not acknowledging it because it's scary to acknowledge and admit it, but we are, mass adoption is occurring. It's not that we're waiting for mass adoption. Like real time. Mass adoption is occurring. If you look at Avalanche, Ethereum, yes, Ethereum, the gas fees are too high. But if you look at Avalanche, it's a better version of Ethereum. The barrier to entry is low.
I love
Avalanche. Very low. People from anywhere with an internet connection can get on Avalanche and start changing their lives with DeFi. And things like that. So to me,
and NFTs, everything, DeFi, exactly. NFTs, projects, cryptocurrency protocols, all that stuff. Investing into projects that they think can change the shape of crypto itself. On top, you don't have to worry about just buying on Ethereum, Binance. That's the thing that's cool, because to me it's like different buildings, right? Because it's like you got Ethereum over here, you got Binance over there, you got Luna, you got Cosmos, and there's just different buildings, and which building you want to go into and work at. Basically, you self-employed, you come in and it's like how my mind works is like, you fall in love with what project, what layer one that you like, and then it's an ecosystem that builds up, and then it builds horizontally, and then which ones are gonna stay? There's so many of them. If you really zoom out, there's so many, right? There's so many that can change the dynamic of crypto. HBAR is one, right? VeChain, like Cosmos. So to me, it's just crazy how mass adoption as it stands is like happening real time and it's ramping up.
We're daily. In it. In my opinion, we're in it. I think everybody, again, I think there's something to be said about the even way the crypto market worked prior to this year, and basically I think DeFi summer 2018, around that time, was when people started waking up to there being something more to crypto than the ability to get really rich really fast just by speculation. We're transitioning from complete speculation into now what is actually going to be a utility token. And again, when you look at the macroeconomic sphere, there's a lot of things that suggest that for all markets, there's a lot to be concerned about just based on the amount of money printing in the US and inflation and all of these things. But again, when people are looking for a safe haven for their cash, what's better than the most available and transferable wealth that is scarce and can be utilized for a purpose other than just to speculate on? That's what, to me, utility tokens are. So like scarcity plus utility is like the simple formula in my mind for crypto projects and NFTs in that matter, for that matter, when looking at what is something that might be a good investment. And so I think, again, we're not financial advisors. This is just the thesis that I've come to. I don't know, like, what do you think about that, John?
Yeah, I think we are in current form of mass adoption, and the way that we view the world is going to be completely digitalized,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like no way around it. Is it digitized?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way around it. So it's like having the cell phone. It's like whether or not you cared about having a phone or not, it's become a point where you need one. Like you just need one, unless you're just off the grid. You're just off the grid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Blockchain technology is going to be that. It's going to help the way we connect with the world. It's just every company is going to use it. Every company that, and what we as humans, what do? We rely on things that are built by these companies. We rely on the internet. We rely on everything that verifies anything you need for your car, your work, everything like that. It's just going to be a normal part of life. And then there's like different lanes that come from that. Like in the article, it says they want to help content creators. So it says, I think it's an interesting place that we can play and hopefully help creators. So what is that? They're going to allow creators to basically create their own NFTs and launch their own NFTs without having anything. It's just going to be simpler. It's like Shopify was created. Yeah. Back then, you had to pay someone thousands of dollars to build a website. You could build one for $30 now on your own. You know, back then it was taboo. If you knew how to build a website, you were like, oh my goodness. You know what I mean? Set up hosting and do all that stuff the old way. Now Shopify takes care of that for you. Oh yeah, we host everything for you. All you gotta do is just design it's like designing a little page. It's like fun, you know what I mean? Editing your home screen on your iPhone or MySpace. Like look at how we advanced from coding your website to just putting blocks together, and now you have a fully operational website that can generate thousands of dollars per day.
Yeah.
And within an hour.
It's crazy because it's like
that's how crypto is gonna change the world. I think.
Yeah. You want to go to what is the next thing that we have on our list? I think we have the DeFi protocol.
Yeah.
Just to transition here, like obviously, you know, now. So John, you want to go over this article and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. So like that, to piggyback off of that, the thing about the technology moving forward, this is like that's the dark side of it. Is you're basically, if you're in the DeFi world, you're on your own. And this protocol, Grim Finance, got hacked, and $30 million was removed from the liquidity. So a lot of people got liquidated. A lot of people couldn't sell their bags, couldn't take any of their money out because they got hacked. So it says it was because of a security flaw, allowed the attacker to take 5 additional deposits to fake 5 additional deposits. So this is the scary side of it. He took $30 million from it, and nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah.
I think the point is also, like, I think on my channel I was talking about it, we all get so euphoric when the market's going up the last couple of months after we had a really, kind of scary bear cycle. When we had the opportunity, again, like I said, to take profits, and when things were looking good, a lot of people, including myself, were buying these DAOs, these really risky plays, and ended up getting hurt by that because of euphoria and greed and all of the things that we talk about trying to avoid and trying to preach kind of as something that we shouldn't be doing. But the thing is, like, we're all so susceptible to it, right? Because it's like we've never had something like crypto where all you got to do is be paying attention to the space and really nothing else. Like, even blockchain at its core is more of a concept than a technology, in my opinion. It's more like, because of the way that or what it really does, like I said, for human interaction, it's basically like a different level of trust and accountability through having a ledger that is decentralized, that's recording all of these transactions and basically immutably recording places in time. So it's like, at this moment in time, we knew that John had this much HBAR in his wallet, and then and that's something that will never change. On that date, that's how much you had, and when you sent it to me, and that transaction is recorded, that can never change. So it's like, it's an accountability piece of interaction over the internet that we've never had, and so it's like, there should be. It is far more secure as a technology, but there's still a lot of hacks like this or rug pulls and stuff like that, because human nature still gets in the way of the security and safety of technology, because we're humans and we go based off of emotion. And when people are manipulating our emotions or trying to manipulate our emotions, or influence our emotions, that's when we get wrecked. And that's why I always say, one, you have to lose money in crypto before you to start making money. I think that's important because you have to get over the fear of losing the money in the first place. That's how you make it. You're right. Like, scared money doesn't make any money. But the point is, also, it doesn't mean you just, because you hear a story about some guy who turned $500 into 500,000, that every single fork of these DAOs or every single new yield protocol, if you found one that you know is going to last, which in my opinion, Ohm and Time are those two.
Yeah.
Then why would you, unless you were just feel like you missed out, which again, I don't think anybody is late to any of these protocols. Unless you don't trust them or you think you're late, why would you risk going into some of these other projects that are just more unknown?
That's true. Yeah, and that's like the thing is, you pick what you know, and then with DeFi, there's always a risk of getting hurt when you venture off, right? And there's so many people that are saying like, oh, this one's safe, this one's not safe, this one do this one, and then it's just the same thing as buying your a token. You get rug pulled, right? It's the FOMO, is the euphoria feeling. You want to get in early on a lot of projects, right? That's like the best case scenario. The best case scenario is getting in early on a project, and then everyone flooding in, and then you getting out of the top.
Yeah,
that's like obviously the best case scenario. But that to me is like almost like winning the lottery in a sense, because it's,
we're not here to win the lottery.
Yeah,
we're here to find what we can hold and literally forget about for a few years, and then come back to it and be like, cool. VXV, it was $4 4 years ago. Now it's 1,000.
Yeah.
And whatever I put in 4 years ago is worth far more, and that only comes from scarcity and utility, and it only comes from there actually being a use case involved. And again, so talking about VXV specifically, or even Chainlink for that matter, like people say, well, Chainlink, you don't need the crypto, you don't need to use the crypto to use the ecosystem. You can pay for services, Oracle services from Chainlink without Chainlink. But the point is, if Chainlink is integrated with every single DeFi protocol, every single major platform, basically every operating crypto application out there, if Chainlink is what's making that happen, look at the Chainlink token as a stock. How much is the stock of Chainlink worth? Every single time it has a new partner, the Chainlink token is worth more because it's one way of deriving the value of Chainlink and what it does for the ecosystem. So basically, if we had no more highways in the United States of America, it would be very hard for people to get around. What if we only were able to run around and use horses like back in the day? It would make things really, really difficult.
Yeah. You remember traveling.
Just because I get what people are saying, I agree that it should be that the token has a direct and kind of easily understandable use case directly related to the network. I get that, and I think, if Chainlink did say that Chainlink is the only way to pay for services on their Oracle network, then it would do the token a lot of good. But the point is, they're looking far past just making the price of the token go up, and the same thing goes for VXV. They could do everything in their power to just have people pump this up to absolute crazy numbers, but they're not. They're not focused on the marketing too much. Same thing with Quant, and because of that, people have a lot of doubt in these kinds of projects. But again, in my opinion, you really, really take your time and you look at what they're doing. To me, it's like, if it's scarce, and it's even more scarce than Bitcoin and has just as much or if not more utility than Bitcoin, then it has the potential to at least go to half the price of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
Even half the price of Bitcoin is insane. It's not going to happen in 6 months, guys, but maybe one day it happens. And so the point is, there's opportunities that can change your life in the next 2 weeks, 2 months,
especially
years, but there's also some that you can get into now that can change your life 5 years down the road. It doesn't mean that you can't be in both kinds of plays, but to me, I'm going to start with the plays that I know are ones that if something terrible happened in the market,
you still have
that those projects would hopefully come back to life once the market recovered.
Yeah, and you believe in it. Like there's a blue. I call those blue chips.
Blue chips, yeah, like potential blue chips.
Their partnerships, their utility will keep them from literally going to zero.
Right.
And like VXV with potential Google partnership, like that's huge.
Yeah, right? So let's talk about this. I was not aware of this. Obviously, Microsoft is involved with Vectorspace, and then there's a bunch of really huge players.
It makes sense.
What is this that we're looking at?
It makes sense that AI, Google's looking into AI, right? I mean, Vectorspace, it says here, they have it highlighted. Vectorspace AI has recently attracted the attention of Google, who approached us for asking for...
Can you click on it? Sorry to interrupt. Click on the picture because it's hard to see.
It says Vectorspace has recently attracted the attention of Google, who approached us asking for collaboration on a global technology partnership, along with showcasing our QUANT bot product on their new messaging platform, along with their current blockchain strategy. So this is so Google, they have Google's attention basically.
Yeah, and I don't know how legitimate this is, but it's just where is this from? Introductory letter to exchanges. This is something that VXV sent out to other
I think to exchange introduction to exchange. Yeah, this is their letter they sent out to exchanges.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, again, since I looked into Vectorspace and looked at the technology and made my initial investment in it, I haven't really been paying attention. Like, it's one of those things, again, I want to be able to buy the tokens that I can just kind of forget about. And whether it goes back down under $1 or whatever, yeah, maybe I'll regret not taking all my profits, of course. But the point is, I don't really know, and I don't think anybody at this point knows when we're going to have a extended bear market and if we're going to have one. Yeah. Literally, an extended bear market from here on out could be 3 or 4 months of red. That could be the extent to a bear market we have now, just because regardless of what anybody's saying, mass adoption, even though the users and the usability of crypto itself is not there yet, like I said, the development and all of the projects that are like Chainlink or used to build applications, all of those things, layer ones, those I think are going to continue to perform. So that will make the market stay interesting, and it'll have the market bring new players in constantly. And again, in the US, Coinbase, Kraken, all of these major exchanges, they're just getting bigger. Their stocks going up insane amounts. The amount of money that Coinbase makes, they're going to be one of the best performing companies in the world.
Yeah, I think so
because
too.
Because of the amount of money they make.
They'll be the next. They'll be the Microsoft, Google, Facebook of the crypto age in regards of stock in the real world, right? Outside of the crypto world, because they IPO, they don't have a token. Coinbase doesn't have a token, right? So you can't invest into their token, quote unquote. But in the real world, they will be one of the biggest players, just like Tesla is in the car industry, Amazon in the retail industry, PayPal in the payment processing industry with Visa, MasterCard. They'll be the blue chip for crypto. And Robinhood, I think, will be right there.
They will bring all these people in, but the thing is, like, it's not like it's going to be one winner.
Yeah, Robinhood's going to be right there, too.
Exactly. All of these major centralized exchanges new ones are good to bring people in.
Yeah.
And then eventually, guess what's going to happen? It's going to flood into NFTs. It's going to flood into DeFi. It's going to flood into all of these different
it's a trickle-down
decentralized communities and applications that are being created and already exist that create real value for people. Gaming. I mean, there's so much we can
gaming, sports,
about
sports,
where this can go. And obviously we could talk
forever
about it. So I think
it's never ending.
Yeah, It's never ending. So I think we will. I don't know about you, John. Is there anything else you want to talk about today?
I don't know. You want to talk about time?
Yeah, we can talk about time.
Real quick.
Sure.
I know you did a video today too about it.
Go check out
the video.
If you haven't already. Yeah. Apparently, I posted it too early in the day. People aren't used to that. I usually post really late. But anyway, time. Yeah, what do you think about time right now? Because there's a lot of questions.
I mean, there's a lot of green. There's a lot of buys. You see, there's a lot. I'm still very bullish on time. Ever since you mentioned it to us back in October. I know you got in, I think, before that, but you mentioned it to us for the first time.
October 1st, I believe.
Yeah, in October, somewhere in October, you mentioned it to us off air, And we were like, all right, and then we got into it. That was our first real, like, for me personally, first DeFi protocol that I'm like, okay, it quickly moved up my portfolio, right? Like in position wise, right? And I think these prices are like a second chance because you got in around 3,000 or something initially.
I got in at the same price. In October, and the thing is, like I said, I'm still up 30% overall on my investment. After it crashed, because everything you accumulated, I'm still up 30%. So, like I was saying in the video I posted today, I don't actually have incentive to sell, and so you gotta think about it when you're in this kind of game theory situation that time is. You gotta look at all players or all actors in the system and say who has incentive right now to break the system or break a chain in the system. And not at one single point, even after the 60% crash, did I feel like I needed to break the chain and sell out. I felt like this is an opportunity to maybe even put in more and compound more and have a base of time that I can just take rebases out of every single day or every 5 days at
reward yourself
and never have to touch the initial allocation that's actually in there, and eventually you would make back what you already put in there. I think I said in the video as well, it's been what, 2 months almost, complete months or 3 complete months since I bought into time, right? At the end of this year will be 3 months, and basically to make back my initial investment, it only took me about 2 weeks or something like that, and I made back my initial investment initially.
But I made my initial investment back too already. I've more than doubled since I bought in.
Now I put in more I put some altcoins. I sold my some altcoins and put it into time, and so I put more. I basically put more into my initial investment, and it would take me a week to get that back. Yeah. And I think time's gonna last at least the next week? Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And time's going crazy right now. Have you noticed? Look, someone just bought 14. I've been looking at it. It's just all buys.
No, it's looking good, and like I said in the video,
look at the chart the last 24 hours.
It's smaller buys, which makes me even more confident in the sense that it's people who have $100 to spare are still seeing a value in putting it in time. And
it's better than leaving in your bank account.
To me, it's just like, to me, it's like it doesn't matter what the price of time is.
It does not, no.
Because if it stabilizes and you're still earning a good yield, and this is the other thing, is like people are like, oh, well, 70,000 is not sustainable. Well, even if it went to 7,000 like Ohm was, that's still unbelievable compounding yield on anything. And if you have a stable backed asset that is returning you 7,000%
guaranteed, pretty much
year over year, or even 700, that is insane. That is unheard of. So the fact that we're all getting it's funny, we're all getting kind of spoiled by the fact that it's only 70,000. What if it goes down to 50 or 10,000? It's like,
that's the crazy thing. People are like, this one protocol has 2 billion%, and I'm like,
that's unheard of.
I'm like, what? 70,000% is still mathematically like life changing. Like, even if you put in like $200, $300.
I mean, to me, it's just like you can't even argue with it. Like, but anyway, like the point is, like, there's also the risk involved. Of course, it's not there. It does not come without risk. But whatever investment you're willing to risk, if it works out in the end, it'll be something that, again, the people who get in and put in $100 today, like, let's go to the website real quick. This is the last thing we'll do. Let's go to the Wonderland website and see what it would be if we put in $100 today in 90 days. What it would be.
So you put $100 in,
or even for a year.
Wait, $100?
Yeah, if we put $100 in a time right now, that would be like, what would that be worth? So
0.005. No, 7.
0.005.
Yeah.
That's $100 worth of time. No, 0.005. My initial investment.
There we go. 0.0083. $100. 0.0083.
No, that's not right. That's 26. Your initial investment's $26.
Oh, I'm looking at the potential return. I'm sorry.
It's 0.03. That's around $96. So anyway, $108 in 80 days would be.
There we go. Yeah. I put the wrong.
In a year, it would be 26 time, which would be 84,000 from $100 investment. Not
so
saying
right
that's
there,
going
right?
to
Is
happen.
that good? 0.032.
Yeah, but you just got to look at the 9-day or the 5-day rate. If every 5 days you're still making 9%, it's hypothetically
so you
possible.
put 90 days
possible.
$100 in 90 days, it's $1,000, right?
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's just interesting to look at. Anyway, like point being, it's a risky thing, but it's at the same time something that could be life changing if it works out. So I'm willing to risk whatever I have in there. So yeah. All that being said, I don't think I have anything else to talk about in today's show.
No, I think that's it. I mean, that little last part for me was I messed up a little bit on the calculations of time, but we talk about all that in the Patreon anyway. So
yeah, exactly. So
the collective,
we'll see what makes it onto the public page.
Yeah, but yes, time is a great. I think it's at 77,000 APY. That's insane. But I think time at these prices is like a second chance for a lot of people that saw. If you believed in it when it was at 9,000, right, and 8,000, and you're like, man, it's too late for me. It's too late for me. And you see it go down to this, why would you all of a sudden not believe in it anymore? Just because it went down? It's like an opportunity. It's a second chance. Mm-hmm. If you believe in it, right? Enough to put $100 in, to turn that $100 into, like you said, $1,000, $2,000 in 30 to 60 days, 90 days, right? At current prices.
Yep.
You know?
No, you're right.
So imagine when time does go back up, how would you feel if you didn't put a dime in? You know what I mean? If you did not get in at these prices and all of a sudden it goes back up, are you're gonna resent? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right, dude.
So that's pretty much all.
I think the point is, time will go back to its all-time highs.
It will. I think it'll pass it too.
Whether it dies in the long run or not, before it dies, it will go back to all-time highs. So ask yourself, is that an opportunity I want to take or not?
Yep. All right, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for paying attention to us today and joining us and just having a conversation. Mike clearly was missed because he knows how to keep us in flow.
I know. I'm not
unbelievable host.
Shout out to
unbelievable host. So I'm sorry to anybody who's like, wow, these guys suck.
The energy is like not the same, or the gravitational.
We miss him, but
be back tomorrow.
We still wanted to make one for y'all.
Yeah,
right?
And shout out to Dante leading the show off. Thank you for that, because obviously we tried to do it with me and it did not work as well.
No. You were just a little nervous, man.
Yeah, it was just whoo. But yeah, I mean, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for tuning in. God bless. Peace.
And it goes a little something like